I'm Lisa Berry.
Arlene Schofield.
My name is Shireen Snow.
My name is Carla A. Miles.
Diana Camuto.
This is Christine Dunford.
I'm me, Eden.
Caroline Macy. This is Walker Fannin.
Lydia Camille Dixon.
I'm Miss Dates Wardam.
My name is Linda Preston, and you're watching the Keith Andrew Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 433. I am your host, Keith Andrew. Along here is the talented and beautiful Sarah Schoofs. I just want to say Sarah Schoofs. I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Thank you, Keith. It's nice to be here.
Absolutely. The honor's all mine. And now for people who want to know what the point of my talk show is, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, if you can pick that up by not pronouncing your last name properly.
Nobody does.
But the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and to prove people wrong. To prove that labels don't dictate who you are and who you're going to be and how you got to live your life. And to show to them you can break the labels. So that being said, half hour, 37 minutes of your time. Starting off, then I ask you some easy questions, then some hard-hitting ones. Then we got to take a break. I'm going to pass it over to you. You can ask me anything you want. And starting off, what can you tell us about yourself?
A little bit about myself. I am a small town girl from a town that had 3 stoplights, and I now live in Manhattan, New York City, one of the greatest cities in the world. So it was a bit of a departure from what I was used to. So, and I moved here to be an actor, and it seems to be working out thus far. And in addition to working as an actor, I work as a figure model too. So I get to work in the arts, which is also amazing. Like, I'm constantly in the arts in one way or another. So, I'm just constantly. It's a different day every single day. You can't make half the stuff up that you deal with in New York. So.
Oh, absolutely. What part of New York are you from? Oh, you said Manhattan, right?
Well, I'm actually, when I first moved to New York, my very first apartment was in the West Village in Manhattan, and then I landed in Queens, and I have since been a Queens girl, Astoria, which I love to death. And Queens is actually one of the most diverse places in this entire country. So, we have all different, like, the best eateries, the best food, the best cultures, the best parties. Yeah, it's a good time here.
Hey, if you ever look for a roommate, hit me up.
Yeah, right? Seriously? Oh, God. I mean, I would. I have a 1-bedroom apartment, and it was already pretty cramped. We, at one point, had 3 people in my 1-bedroom apartment, including a cat on top of everything else. So it was, but that's New York living. So, right. Everyone's used to being pretty cramped. So,
if you don't mind me asking, how's the rent? You said you're now in Queens, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how is it in Queens? Is it rent good? Is it high?
Well, here's the thing. When I first moved to Astoria, it was, I used to tell all of my friends who were, Brooklyn was a popular place. And so I'm like, oh, my God, you guys, Astoria is the best. You have to move here. And then all of a sudden, all of the actors started moving to Astoria, and it changed from Astoria to Actoria because I think all the other actors started saying the same thing. So all of a sudden, there was this, crazy, mass move of all of these actors to Astoria, and it became more and more popular. So now, unfortunately, now Astoria is experiencing the same thing Brooklyn was, is to where, like, people realize how amazing it is, and so people are moving here, therefore the rent is going up. My rent right now for a one-bedroom is about $1,300.
It would be nice if I had made that type of money.
I mean, but you split it in half, and it's not horrible. So, it's, but it still, sucks because it keeps going up, and it was a lot cheaper. When I first moved to New York, my very first room, which is unheard of, was $333 a month.
Not bad. It
was in the West Village, but that was it was a blip, and it ended very quickly, like 4 months in. So, yeah, it was. But yeah, yeah, rent in New York. People, you live and you learn and you figure a way out, and sometimes you turn your living room into a bedroom and live with extra people, so that's how it works.
Well, I am now curious. You said he had one bedroom with 3 people. And plus a cat. So
right.
Who was calling the shots? The cat?
Yes. His name is Hank. At some point, he might interject into this interview, and I apologize ahead of time. But yeah, at one point, because I lived. To make a long story very short, I lived with.
If you don't mind me.
Yeah,
that's much time as you like.
And then he moved out. My brother constantly replaces the ex-boyfriends when I have a bad relationship. So my brother moved in, and that's when I turned the living room into a bedroom, because me and my brother don't want to share a room. So we just basically had 2 bedrooms in a 1-bedroom apartment. And then I met my now husband. He moved in, and then it was 3 people. So me and him were cramped in the living room turned bedroom. My brother was in the actual bedroom with a cat. So, and my brother has since moved out. He went off and did the Appalachians Trail. So we finally had like an actual space. Now we have a cat and a chameleon. So it's
Do they
me
pay rent?
Huh?
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt. I apologize.
Oh, no, it's fine.
I was going to say, do they pay rent?
No. And yeah, it's a lot of time and effort. The cat's easy. He eats the same thing every day. We don't have to spend much time on him. The chameleon, on the other hand, he's just like the most high maintenance roommate I've ever had. So,
It could be worse.
Yeah, chameleons are ridiculous. Just like, the more you know. If you get a pet chameleon, they're hard. They're hard to keep alive. So it's ridiculous.
The next question I was going to ask you is, a couple of weeks ago we got hit by that superstorm. Luckily for me, we got off lucky. We got something like 5 to 8 inches. So it wasn't that bad. But from the city, how much snow did you get?
It wasn't that bad, honestly. I actually was supposed to go out filming that day. And the only thing I was worried about, because I was supposed to do the Metro North. Yeah. And it was fine at the beginning of the day, but then I was just concerned because there was only 1 train getting back. So I was just worried. I was like, okay, well, we could get there, but if because sometimes New York freaks out about the trains and they shut them down. So I'm like, I might just be stranded with you like overnight. So and they ended up shutting down filming because there was other people who had to drive there, and it was a little bit dangerous. But otherwise, it wasn't awful. I just had a chill day with like Netflix and the cat and the chameleon.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it wasn't awful. So, I mean, there was. I remember when New York had more snow and New Yorkers handled it better, but New Yorkers have gotten a little pansy about the snow lately, I feel. I remember when we had bigger snowstorms.
Every time you mention snow, and this is really good for ShopRite, Stop and Shop, or any food place. You mention snow, you're going to have a flock of people going there. Oh my God, I need water and toilet paper. Water and toilet paper.
I know, I'm sure, and that's probably exactly what was happening too. Because, like I'm saying, like people like freak out. They're like, "Oh my God, I'm not going to be able to leave my apartment." I'm like, it's it was like this much snow. It's not, get some boots, you're fine. Like not everything was closed down. It was good. So.
You got a funny story for you.
Yeah?
I didn't mean to interrupt. There's kind of like a delay. I apologize.
Oh, no, it's cool. I want to hear a story.
The story, it's not my story, but I don't have many funny stories, occasionally. I have my moments. A lot of people would disagree with that. The taxi driver would say, he told me, it's like, oh, well, a couple of days ago I was out driving during a snowstorm. It's like, oh, how long do you guys stay open away? It's like, oh, well, normal hours. I'm like, normal hours. That's pretty interesting. How did he stay out normal hours when there was a state of emergency? Oh, we're taxi drivers. It doesn't really make a difference. We can do what we want. Until he got pulled in, a guy got pulled over by a police officer. And he says, do you see anything wrong with this picture? Yeah. There's no one on the roads. I wonder why. Well, that's because there's a state of emergency. Learn something new every day. Get off the road, asshole.
Well, yeah, guess that's what happened. That's a state of emergency. But, they call it state of emergency for, crazy reasons sometimes. If you can drive, use driving. It's fine.
It makes it more fun, right? Who wants to live dangerous, right?
There was a thing on the news where they had all the newscasters out all day, because I was home all day. Normally they have the normal TV shows. No TV shows. It was just newscasters all day long reporting on the snow that was barely there, somewhat there. Finally the snow started coming down, but all day long. It was impossible to watch the TV shows. And then they questioned this one guy who was driving. He's like, "Excuse me, sir, why are you driving?" He's just like, "I'm Uber driver or something or Papa John's or something." It was just the most basic thing of someone just needing a delivery of a pizza, and they were still working. It wasn't that bad. If the newscasters couldn't get out, it was fine.
One more funny story, then I can pass it over to you.
Sure.
Is my store had a leak recently, and basically a pipe burst and there was 2 feet of water in the store.
And that's been happening a lot, yeah.
So when I posted it online, I made a joke, and I said, "This is why I'm not allowed to take dumps at work anymore. Is it just so the store is filled with water."
Yeah, you gotta be careful about that, especially in this weather. The pipes are particularly brittle, so. Oh, yeah.
What about you? You have any funny stories?
I mean, I don't know. In terms of the weather,
Well, in general.
In general. Oh, God. That's so general. I have so many funny stories, but I guess it would have to apply to some. I'm trying to figure out what is appropriate.
You can say whatever you want. Freedom of speech, self-expression.
But it's so wide. We were just talking about, pipes bursting, and so now I'm just funny stories. About just, life or film or what?
Anything.
What are you looking at? Anything.
I got into the wrong car once.
Oh?
We went out for a holiday, a party, and my sister, we took 2 separate cars. So my parents and my brother went in one car. Me and my sister and my other brother, we took her car. And there was 3 white cars in front of me, in front of her, and on the other one. And it's like, where's your car? In front of you. There's 3 white cars. Which one is yours? I said, right in front of you. Said, okay, fine, whatever. I grabbed the handle. Handle is different. Nah, it's fine. It's just cold outside. I get on the car. I close the door. I put the seatbelt on. And and they're standing in front of the car. I wonder why they're standing in front of the car. Did someone hit the car? And I noticed when I was looking forward, I saw a bumblebee hanging from the mirror.
I was like,
Then it hit me, shit, I'm in the wrong car. And at that time they said, you're in the wrong car. And my sister says to me, God help you if that alarm goes off, because we're not going to come save you.
We're not bailing you out. No. That's fine though, because I have like the car blindness thing.
Yeah.
People I can't people are like, oh, I'm in this car, I'm in that car. First of all, I don't know what that car is. Secondly, if I drive somewhere with someone and then we're walking back to the parking lot to that car, I don't remember what it looks like ever. Even if I rode in the car there, I immediately forget what the car looks like. I would have done. I've actually almost done what you've done multiple times, actually. So, so that's totally acceptable. That's not embarrassing. That's understandable, 100%. So,
True.
But yeah, I've done some crazy. When I first moved to New York, I didn't realize that there was delivery cab drivers, which the black cabs that
you mean
are
Ubers?
Huh?
You mean Uber?
No, they're not even Ubers. They're not even super regulated. They're just they're called livery cab drivers that they just kind of pick you up, and they don't have the odometers or anything like that. When I very first moved I'd never been to New York prior to actually moving here, so I was completely ignorant to all things New York. And so I flew in. This is in 2004, and it's been a while, but so all I knew was what I'd seen in the movies or TV shows it said. And so I flew into the airport. I go, and I had all my 2 big suitcases, and this one guy's just taxi? And I was just like, yes, that's what I need. I need a taxi. And so he grabs my suitcase, and I'm like, oh, well, that's nice of you. So he starts walking it, but then he just walks past this huge line of the yellow cabs, which is what you expect to get into.
Yeah.
And then he goes into the parking garage, and he keeps walking. I'm like, oh, my God. Where's he going? And he has my suitcase at this point. He's bigger than me. I'm just like, oh, Jesus Christ. And he just keeps going, and then he throws my suitcase into the back of this black SUV. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. Well, there's going to be some sort of an odometer, something saying, this is a cab. I get in, there's nothing. And then I stupidly just jump in, and I'm just like, okay. And at this point, honestly, I'd found the apartment online. I'd never met the person except for online and over the phone. So at this point, I don't even know if the apartment exists. And so I'm now in a cab that doesn't seem like it should be right. Driving to an apartment that I'm not quite confident actually exists. Even though I've sent them money 2 months in advance already over the mail. And so, I was confident I was gonna get murdered on, because I didn't know that these cabs existed. Now I've since lived in Harlem, so now it's a totally normal thing, but I survived. The apartment existed, and he got me there. He gouged the fuck out of me. But I didn't care, and I didn't know any better, so I paid him I think $80. I know. I paid him $80 to get from JFK to the West Village. But I was just happy I was alive and the apartment existed and I was fine. And that was my very first night or day in New York City. So, yeah.
And one-time payment, say, okay, whatever, $80, but now you know for next time.
Yeah, and that's the thing. In New York, you live and learn. And so, if you've had a pretzel, if you get a pretzel from a vendor for $2, anyone who tries to charge you $3 is like, no, sorry, I know better. So now I'm a smart New Yorker. I've been here for well over a decade. So it's impossible to scam me at this point. But I was... I was a newbie at one point, so...
Well, I might take you up on that offer. If you're interested in getting money on the side, would you be willing to teach me the ropes of the city?
Oh, of course. I'm always happy to teach people the things that no one taught me because I came in so green. Yeah. And just whenever I meet new new actors who come in, I'm always it's weird now because I don't feel old, but I am kind of like the mama bird because I meet new actors who don't know as much, and I've spent over a decade learning the ropes, and I don't want other people to be taken advantage of like I was. So like I constantly take people under my wing, and if I can tell them something or help them learn in any sort of way things that I had to learn the hard way, I will happily do so. So like anything you want to learn, I will happily like.
Well, how I learn is more like hands-on. So maybe we can pick a day or so, like we can go explore the city. Like I can see, because my idea. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, like, I'll show you whatever you want in New York. Like, I mean, as much as I can. And if I don't know what you're looking to learn, then I know someone who probably can teach you. So.
I was thinking about taking a taxi, you know, village taxi. One's like $136 there and back. I'm like, okay, I can go to the city once a month, pay it off, and go back and pay it off. And, you know, Uber, one's like $100, so that's $2. Not so bad. But, you know, my brother's like, oh, why you want to piss away money like $400 on a taxi? Take the bus, $34. And I'm like, this is my biggest problem. I can see myself getting on the bus. I see myself going to Part Authority, and then reality smacks me in the face. I'm like, shit, I'm 2,000 miles away from home. Never been to the city in my life. There's thousands of people here. Yeah, so, you know, a lot of people like to joke.
Where are you coming from? Because I actually don't know where you're at right now. Where are you at?
West Point, near Woodbury Commons. So from Queens in the city.
If you could actually ride the bus, I could meet you at Port Authority. And then I could show you wherever you want to go. If we planned a day, then we could totally do it. And that's easy peasy.
In the winter.
If you get to Port Authority, then that's totally doable. Port Authority is super easy for me to get to. So... like, if you're able to get to Port Authority, which should be good for you, like, it's just like a bus ride, then that's no problem at all. You tell me where you're arriving, and then I got you from there.
The only thing I know about Port Authority, and the only thing my brother told me about Port Authority, is my stop is on the 4th floor, and that's all I know. But that's
super easy. It's super easy. No, it's totally good. Like, if you were able to get to Port Authority, then from there it's like, I gotcha. And then you don't have to worry about anything else. So if you want me, I could show you around New York. It's fine.
Well, I don't want to impose on you.
No. If I'm free, then, you know, happy to show you around. If there's anything that you want to do, as long as it's not like, I just, like, you know, Statue of Liberty or Empire State Building. That's like it takes like that's like a day's venture and like almost not worth it, even if you are a local or a tourist.
True.
Because like they actually block the view when you're like trekking your way up to the Empire State Building. I don't know if people know that, but it's ridiculous. Like you can't even see the view until you get to the very top, and by then you're so exhausted you don't even care anymore.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'm going to ask you 2 hard-hitting subjects, and then I'm going to pass the show over to you.
Sounds good.
Me, Mark Medley.
Hi, everybody. This is Mark Neely.
Barry Papick.
This is Peter Bruno.
My name is Kyle Collier.
This is Julio Santiago, better known as Dynamite.
I'm Richard Epcar.
Orange Chow.
This is Kerrigan Mahan.
This is Goldar.
And we both support
Keith Andrew.
My name is Ron Wasserman, and I am supporting Keith Andrew on what he is doing, and you better do the same, or I'm going to come kick your ass.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 433. I'm here with the talented and beautiful Sarah. Now, with the last 15 minutes left, I'm going to ask you 2 questions, and then I'm going to pass the show over to you. You can ask me anything you want, gloves off. And the first one is, how do you feel about... Actually, before I ask you that one, I'm going to save that after. I was going to ask you about social media, but, you know, we can do that after. You mentioned that you are an actress. Mm-hmm. So the first question is, who influenced you to become an actress, number 1? And have you ever worked with people with special needs?
Okay, so the first person... there was a ton of people that influenced me to be an actor. I think Bette Midler was a big one. She really influenced me. Cate Blanchett. The first person who actually really made me actually realize that, because I always wanted to be an actor, but when I saw Bette Midler and Nicole Kidman both had kinky red curly hair, none of which ever had that before that I've seen, outside of Bernadette Peters, but she was theater. They were the two that actually made me realize that it was possible to be an actual film actor with this hair, which seems ridiculous, but like honestly, I didn't think that it was possible until I saw them. So they were the ones that really truly inspired me. But like, there's so many inspiring people nowadays. And wait, what was the second question?
Have you ever worked with people with special needs?
I haven't, actually, that I can think of. Except for today. Though, I mean, the one thing, I think that what you're doing, and I think we were kind of talking about it a little bit during the commercial break and how spectacular it is that how you are showing other people who do have special needs, and it kind of like what I was, even though it's a bit of a departure in terms of what I was talking about with curly hair and stuff like that, but like it really is a special thing to be able to see someone who is like you that you've never seen before going out there and doing something that you dreamed of doing and wanting to do, and you don't think it's possible until that actually happens, and then they see someone like you out there interviewing people. And how many episodes is this, did you say?
Officially or unofficially?
What? Unofficially.
So, putting me on the spot. So I tried forgetting about this. Unofficially, I did 733 interviews.
733 interviews.
But officially, I did 433.
That's insane. So what I'm saying, though, is that for someone to think that it's not possible to do something because society says, oh, you know, you can't do this or whatever, and then all of a sudden they, like, tune into you, and they're like, holy shit. How many have you done? Wait, what did you say? 733 interviews?
Yes. Don't ask what happened to the other ones.
What was that?
You can ask me about it. I just said don't ask.
No, I mean, like, well, no, I get it. Like, I'm in film. Like, not everything, like, it's totally cool. But, like, I think that that's really spectacular. And I think that it's important for you to have this platform because I think it's really special for everyone else. Just like how stupid it was for me to see, like, I mean, it seems silly for me to say it, like, with the curly hair thing or whatever. But for me, in that tiniest little way, it's so much heavier and more amazing for you to have this platform. You know, it's so just saying.
While we're on the subject, everyone can go see season 1 and season 2, and it's pretty. You can see the timer on the screen. So, but I'm trying to hold it up.
Okay.
Did I see your reflection?
So I can actually.
Alright, so pretty. You can see it on the video when it's done. Pretty much how you see on the reflection, I used my camera to record from the screen. That was all season 1. Season 2 was, I actually bought a camera, but this was the camera and I recorded from the screen. So I had people say to me afterwards, I made a lot of mistakes. And it's a growing process for me, like I mentioned with the disability. But they said to me afterwards, a couple of weeks later, a year later, they said, yeah, you know, my agent said, my publicist said, you ask a lot of stupid questions. We don't like the video quality. We don't want to be seen with people like you. Take it down. We're going to sue you. And you're just making idle threats to me. I'm like, then why did we do the interview in the first place if you're going to be an ass about it? So now, and at the same time, you know, a couple people said to me, you're not copyrighted, you're not trademarked, blah, 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 blah. So I went to a lawyer/senior advisor. I looked up on LinkedIn. Said, can I ask you a couple questions? And he said, you do not have to be copyrighted because you have an online presence. You're all over social media, number one, so people know who you are. Two, you do not have to be trademarked because that's $2,000. And you're not making money. So once you become established and get money, yes, I would recommend it, but now you don't because you only put yourself in a debt. He said your biggest regret was not having people sign permission forms. So I have 5 binders when it says season 5 on it. I have 5 binders filled of 100 people that said, yes, you can use an interview. And I don't care if they make idle threats or whatever. I'm going to say, hey, you know what? I'll give you an example. For you, here's the permission form. I tell you name, subject, and you agree to let me have permission of it. Either handwritten or typed, you agree to let me have permission of the interview. And I said it's a one-shot deal. That was my biggest mistake because I originally got 300. And that's why I got the belt behind me. The belt was supposed to be seen in 2015. Well, 16, whatever. End of 15 or early 16. Because I got 300. I wanted to get myself a trophy. The joke is, you don't buy yourself a trophy. Trophies were given to you. So everyone likes to tease me saying, yeah, a trophy for me, or trophy for myself, or whatever they want to say. And so from 300, it was originally called uncensored. So from 300, I came up with a permission form I could show you. So here's the concept, here's just what the show is. Do I have a permission to use your interview? So from 300, it dropped down to 100. So I was like, screw it, you know what? Do it over. So now, trying to find the words for it. I liked uncensored because I was a big wrestling fan, as you can see. You know how they say Snickers and Hershey's presents Monday Night Raw or WrestleMania. So I was like, why not use the KeithAndrewNetwork? So it's the KeithAndrewNetwork presents uncensored. And then when I had to do it over, I said, hell with it. I'm paying for the KeithAndrewNetwork name. Get rid of uncensored. Do it over. So I'm now, when someone said, hey, you're Keith, I'm uncensored. It's like, how many years ago are you going back? I don't go by that name anymore. But are you the talk show host? Yes. I'm a talk show host on the KeithAndrewNetwork. The theme of the show is uncensored. Freedom of speech, self-expressing. You can get up, walk around, so is your place. You know, that's the theme of it. It's uncensored. Because it was originally uncensored this, uncensored that. But after I did the permission forms, I took everything down. I rebranded myself. And probably a smart thing I did. But unofficially, I did 700 interviews. And it's kind of like that still bothers me. Because I should have been doing the permission forms from a long time. But hey, you know what? I've been doing this for almost 5 years. No one helped me. Everyone criticizes me, from certain people I won't mention. But, you know, I was being criticized. You know, I was told I was going to fail. But look at what I was able to create.
So my question to you is, what was your first interview?
My very first one?
Your very first interview.
I really want her back on the show. My very first interview was with, it was June something. I don't remember the date, so I just made it up. So
That's fine. I don't remember days either. It's cool.
So it was June 2013.
Okay.
And my first guest, I was interviewing people at the time. That's where the 72 comes in. I did 72, don't ask me why, it seemed like a good idea at the time. I did 72 phone interviews, and I was still having panic attacks and social anxiety. And I'm like, well, maybe I should do a video, because video has more of an impact. Because I see you, you see me. But I'm like, okay, tell me about yourself. And you're just it feels like I don't like talking on the phone because it feels like I'm talking to myself.
Right, yeah, I hate talking on the phone too. It's fine.
So I did 72. So my very first guest was Barbara Goodson from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. She did the voiceover for Rita Repulsa.
Okay.
And then I got Kerrigan Mayhem, who's a good friend of mine, Rod Reisman, and I got Eric Vale, who does Future Trunks. And unfortunately,
How did the interviews go? How, like, because like what you were telling me before is that, like, you know, it was difficult for how did your very first interviews go?
Oh, it was good. I still had anxiety. My heart was still racing.
Yeah.
And people said to me, "You have this great format. Why aren't you as big or bigger when you portray yourself to be? And why don't you have sponsors?" And I used to be like, "Well, would you like to help me with that?" It's like, no, if you can't do it yourself, it's not meant to be. I used to hang out. It's like, yeah, thanks a lot, asshole. Never used to say that to them, but that's what I said. So I did it over. Just one guy said to me, thanks to him, and I can't remember his name, but thanks to him, we're doing a video. He said, do it over. Try doing a different format. So I said, okay. Phone isn't working. Let's do a video. So, you know, some people who I did the demo years with, you know, Barbara Goodson said to me, you know, should have been up front from the start. You know, I said, it's a demo. We're doing it officially. And she's like, I don't want to do it. Maybe in a couple of years, but I don't want to do it. Come back to me in a couple of years. Now is not a good time. And then, you know, Eric Vale didn't want to do it again. And there's a couple of other 72 people that didn't want to do it. But, you know, Richard Epcar, who does the Joker from Marvel versus DC. Actually, not, correction. Mortal Kombat versus DC. He does the Joker, and he does the Injustice. So he did it over. Ron Reisman did it over. So, and let's see, Richard Epcar, Ron Reisman, Kerrigan Mayhem. And there was a couple other people that said, yes, I will help you do it over. And there's other people like, nope, one-shot deal, you had your chance, you messed up, I don't want nothing to do with you. And so it's kind of like, that's when the permission forms too. When I said, okay, can we do the interview over? It's been like 4.5 years, can we do it over? And they're like, yeah, we don't want to. And I'm like, is there a reason why? And they're like, nah, we don't want to get into it. I'm like, you know what? Ben, you're just a mistake that I came across. And, you know, it's just a learning experience.
I know, 100%. In every way. Like, I have learning experiences with my film career, too. So, I've chosen some projects that were great, and I've chosen some projects that weren't so great. And so, and, you know, like, everyone has, you know, it's life. And you live and learn, and you're smarter because of it. So, and you are becoming a better interviewer because of every single interview you've had. After 733 interviews, you were a great interviewer. So, like, you just have to, you know, every single one makes you better. That's all that matters.
Well, so. I have 2 questions for you, but plus a bonus question I'm going to throw at you. Is, what is your opinion? Say I met you the first time. Mm-hmm. And it was over the phone or recording from the phone. And I asked you, you know, would you want to do it over? And you said no. Why do you think people would be like that? Of course, you know, I'm not perfect. I do rub people the wrong way. But why do you think people say, you know, once is enough with them?
I don't think it has anything to do with you specifically. I think that people in this industry have very specific priorities.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people that I know, unfortunately, it's very financially driven, and they will not spend their time if it's not financially profitable for them.
It's funny you should mention that because I came across this manager who represents a couple of wrestlers. And he's like, yeah, you know, are you going to pay me for your time? And I used to pay people to be on the show. Now I'm like, I refuse to do that, period. And it's like, yeah, I refuse to ask my clients to do anything if they're not being paid. And I'm like, even though it's, it's whatever.
Here's the thing, here's the thing. I think that, all artists deserve to be paid, for their work. Yeah. But this isn't work. This is them talking about what they're passionate about. This is talking about social matters that are important. And I think that, you're going to find plenty of people who actually are fascinating and are different genres, different talents, different everything that will happily give you their time. And you don't have to give zero fucks about the people that don't give you their time. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? If you're passionate about what you do, it doesn't matter if you're getting paid. Obviously, everyone wants to get paid for what they're doing, whatever. But, when it's just, talking about stuff, you don't have to get paid for it. It's fine. So, find the people who are willing to give you their time. And if people are assholes, fuck them. You don't need them anyway. Because the people who, in the end, are willing to, talk and not even about their career or anything else, about just life in general, those are the people and they don't even have to be actors. They could be everyday people, and there's something to learn about every single person, whether they work at CVS or fucking, they pick up the garbage. Every single person has a story to tell, and, not everyone is going to be selfish and want money or have an agent sick you for every, piece of money. And you're fun to talk to, and I think that you have stories to be told, and I think that you can find stories out of other people, and I think that that's the most important thing. So, that's what I'm saying. Sorry, I'm saying fuck a lot.
Hey, he's starting a good cause, make a new friend out of it, and like I said to people when I first approached them, all I asked was for a chance. What's wrong with giving someone a chance?
I think you're doing really great work, Keith, and I think that you need to keep going, and the thing is that everyone is going to be faced with a bunch of denials and failures and people who are shutting you down, and as long as you have the strength to overcome that and keep going and keep going and keep going, and you're going to be the one that's going to come out on top, and and all of the failures is what defines you as who you are as a human being in the end. Nobody learns from their successes. Everyone learns from their failures, right? So, the more you get shut down, the stronger you become anyway. So,
True.
Yeah, it's true. Believe me, I'm an actor. I deal with nothing but rejection. And I'm working all the time, and I still have nothing but rejection on a daily basis. So I'm so used to it. It's amazing how much rejection I've dealt with. So, yeah. We both have an incredibly thick skin, right?
I try to be.
You gotta. You're killing it. You have a thick skin. Whether or not you actually admit it or not, you have an incredibly thick skin. So, and it's just getting thicker with every single interview. You're doing good. And if anyone fucks with you, just send them my way, and I'll.
No, I appreciate it. Now I do have a couple of questions for you off the air. The last two questions for you is one, are you on social media? Are you on LinkedIn, Stage 32? Are you on any of that fun stuff?
I am on Facebook and Twitter. I'm on Facebook, Sarah the Actor, Sarah, S-A-R-A-H, the Actor. And Twitter, I think it's just Sarah Schoofs. I think. I don't know. I have to check. I forget. I don't know. I'm really bad. I'm on Twitter, but I just don't actually know my actual.
What about LinkedIn?
I'm sorry. It's at Skippy Schoofs. Skippy Schoofs. SCHOOFS. Yeah.
Do you use LinkedIn or not really?
I don't use LinkedIn very much, unfortunately. Yeah, I get moments. But yeah, I don't check it as much as I should, I think.
And my last question for you, wrapping up our interview segment, is when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your first reaction and what made you say yes?
I liked the way you propositioned it. That you had a learning disability and you were showing people that, you know, everyone can do whatever they want, regardless of what life throws at them. Like, everyone can succeed no matter what. And I thought that was a really good message to send to the world. So I was like, fuck yeah. Of course. Yeah, I'll totally interview. Yeah, so totally. Yeah, I think you're doing good work. So.
Now, wrapping up our interview segment, I do have a couple questions off the air. Wrapping up, it was a real honor and privilege to have you as a guest, and I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Whatever you need. And if you ever want to come to New York, let me know. I'll show you around. I will pick you up at Port Authority. You don't have to worry, okay?
I appreciate it. Hey, you help me, I help you.